win the first two. I think coming in, you would have said, hey, a split in Yankee Stadium is good. Do expectations change? Do you feel like you left unfinished business at the end of this series now?
Things change every day, depending on what you see, and more importantly, depending on what you feel. And we came out here and played 2 good games and grabbed 2 wins to start a 4-game series at Yankee Stadium. And we walk out splitting. It's not going to feel good, but if you have to describe it, I would call it a competitive series. And regardless of where either team is in the standing, it doesn't matter. I think any way you break it up, overall the pitching was at a pretty high level. We had 1 game where we broke out. The other 3 games we were working hard to scrap any runs that we could across. And our pitching threw pretty well against them too as a whole. So, kind of a day game, pitcher's duel of some kind. And that's just the way it played out. But you didn't think that there would be a ton of runs scored in a game like this today. But we couldn't really get anything going. Every time we would get a base runner out there, it seemed like it was reasonably the inning would kind of wrap up quick. And then I think there were a bunch of innings that actually were reasonably difficult for the pitchers themselves, which makes their performances even more impressive, because the opposite side of the field would wrap the inning up fairly quickly, and then you'd have to kind of run back out in the field. You're not even really sitting down, truly catching your breath or anything like that. But the pitching was good today on both sides.
Is there sort of something to, no matter how good of a game plan you have, sometimes there are days where you just run into Garrett Cole and he's throwing the way he was?
Yeah, good pitching. There it is again. That's that's what it looks like when you go out there and you face good pitching, and when they're throwing the ball pretty good. And he'd throw a few pitches and kind of get away from what he wanted to do, but he would find it again pretty quickly. We get a base runner, and I think it was maybe Larnick walks, and then we hit into a double play immediately, and that's going to happen. That's something that you will see. But when you're facing these guys, you really got to capitalize on the opportunities. And the thing is, they did a little bit better of a job than that today. But I was very pleased with what I saw from Pablo as a whole. I mean, he competed so well. Even with us having some 6 or 7 or 8 pitch innings, and running back out there, he would get right to work. We used some of our visits today to try to slow things down for him. But I thought just another excellent start on his end. I mean, the way that the runs showed up, you never know what would have happened. And they beat us. They played better than us today. But, he gives up a home run that bounces on the top of the wall in right field at Yankee Stadium, 340 feet away. And then a hit by pitch that likely didn't hit their hitter, and they get a free base. And then they take advantage of it with, and they're able to score a run, and that base runner pushes Judge in the scoring position. And he's able to score on a ball that, he's obviously not going to score on if he's standing at first base. He's just going to go to second base on that ball. And there's a lot. I don't like playing what ifs, though. That's a little bit of a what if game. But it's not like Pablo was in control. I mean, those things happen. Sometimes you're going to go 6, give up 2 runs, and pitch really well. And those 2 runs are not always, necessarily, I don't want to say his fault, but he did a lot to hold them down. He did a nice job against their lineup.